Yo, everybody, what is up? Welcome back into the podcast. Yet another episode of Crushing Fantasy Football. I am Bryce Lockridge, your host of the show. So glad to have you guys with me here today because I am doing what is becoming one of my favorite segments of the week, and that is running back rankings. We are rapidly approaching week 4 of the fantasy football season, so I'm going to be giving you my top 25 running backs for week 4 of the fantasy football season. Guys, I am listing my top 25 running backs below, so if there's anything you agree on or don't agree on, let me know in the comments. And also, if anything changes between now and Sunday, which it usually does, I am going to make that adjustment in the rankings that I have in the description. Okay, guys, I am going to get right into it, but if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button below. And if you do like my content today, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it very much, guys. All right, I'm going to get into my number 1 back. And that is Derrick Henry. No surprise here. He's been running all over everybody, and they're playing a helpless New York Jets. He's going to run all over the Jets, guys. That's all there is to it. He's your number 1 for the week. Alvin Kamara is the number 2. Alvin Kamara playing up against the Giants. The Giants are definitely a beatable defense. Alvin Kamara is seeing some serious volume this year, guys. He's seen 20 rushes in week 1 and 24 rushes in week 2. This is way more volume than he usually gets in the rushing game, and he's still just as much of a passing threat as ever. So you want to start Alvin Kamara in your lineups every single week. Okay, Joe Mixon up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars have a terrible run defense, and Joe Mixon is one of the most volume-heavy running backs in football and also one of the most talented running backs in football. The dude's just very underrated. He needs to be in your lineups every week. He's my number 3 for the week. Aaron Jones. As long as Christian McCaffrey's hurt, Aaron Jones is the number 1 dual threat running back in the league. He dominates in both the running game and the passing game, and he will get you a ton of fantasy points no matter who he plays. And, you know, this week up against the Steelers, they can definitely be beat by the Green Bay run game. So Aaron Jones should have himself a really good week. Dalvin Cook at my number 5. I would normally have him higher, but look, Dalvin Cook is coming back from an injury. I just want to make sure the dude is fully back to his normal self before I place him in the 1 or 2 slot where I normally have him. Nick Chubb going up against the Vikings. We're talking about one of the most talented running backs in football, guys. You know, this dude just, he can do it all. And he's on a very efficient offense with a great offensive line. His odds of scoring a touchdown every single week are really good. You know, he's pretty much just a touchdown waiting to happen in this offense. He's going to have weeks where he scores you multiple touchdowns and gets you 100 all-purpose yards. This is a fantasy monster, and you are starting him in week 4. Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler's been a really good dual threat running back like we knew he would be. He's pretty much, this dude's basically a wide receiver. I mean, they line him up like a wide receiver on a lot of plays. They throw tons of passes to him out of the backfield. His receiving ability is what is going to have him in the top 10 every week, so you're playing him in week 4. Antonio Gibson up against the Atlanta Falcons. Guys, this is going to be Antonio Gibson's first breakout game of the year. I know that everyone's that is an Antonio Gibson owner has been waiting for him to have a big game. You know, he had the 75-yard touchdown reception last week, but other than that, he didn't do anything. Guys, this Falcons team is going to gift Antonio Gibson his first monster fantasy performance of the year, and he is a must-play this week. Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott definitely bounced back in week 3. Everybody, you know, all the rumors about Tony Pollard becoming the lead back and everything. This dude came out and played with a full head of steam like he normally does, and, you know, he ran very efficiently, so he's an auto play every week. Don't worry about Tony Pollard, guys. Tony Pollard will be a good flex, but we'll get to that later. David Montgomery. David Montgomery is playing up against the Lions. This always bodes well for pretty much any workhorse running back, as the Lions have a laughably bad run defense. And so you want to start any stud running back that's going up against the Lions. So Montgomery's in the top 10 for the week. Going on to my 11 through 20. Okay, I can't have Kareem Hunt too much lower than Nick Chubb because a lot of times they are similar in fantasy production. There are weeks where Kareem Hunt carries the ball more than Nick Chubb, and definitely weeks where he sees more receptions than Nick Chubb. So to have him too far behind him just wouldn't make sense. So I have Kareem Hunt at my number 11. Saquon Barkley. Guys, Saquon Barkley's gonna have a good game. Giants going up against the Saints. The Saints have a pretty good run defense, pass defense. You know, that's a good defensive team. But Saquon is going to get better and better every game. You'll see it as the year goes on, and he will eventually end up producing quality fantasy output. So you're starting him this week. Chuba Hubbard, okay, the Christian McCaffrey replacement. This dude is nowhere near Christian McCaffrey, as nobody is, but he is definitely a competent replacement, and in this offense that is going to be handing him the ball quite a bit and throwing him passes out of the backfield, he is going to be a fantasy beast, so you need to start him this week. Okay, Najee Harris up against the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers' run defense has been a lot more stout than I think a lot of people thought it was going to be. I mean, we knew it was a pretty good defense, but they looked really good in the past couple games. With that being said, Najee Harris is receiving a ton of volume, guys. This guy was targeted 19 times in the passing game last week. That's just an unheard of amount of targets for anyone, especially a running back. So the dude is a dual threat, all-purpose back who's getting a crap ton of volume in the running and the passing game. So you want to start Najee Harris because he's going to be a monster just due to his volume. Okay, Josh Jacobs. Playing up against the Chargers. Look, this Raiders team has been very good this year. And I expect big things for Josh Jacobs. I mean, he hasn't had a huge breakout fantasy game yet, but that is going to come. They do trust him as a lead workhorse back, and they give him, good volume, good amount of reps, good amount of touches. And he's in what looks like it's going to be an even better offense than what we expected. So the touchdown upside is there as well. So start Josh Jacobs if he's healthy. Darrel Henderson, also a question mark for the week in the health department. Had the rib injury a few weeks ago, didn't play this last week. I think he's going to be playing this week, but it's really hard to tell. You know, this could definitely be a lingering injury where he's out 3 to 4 weeks and we just don't know it yet. But if he does start, you need to go ahead and play him. So Darrel Henderson's a start for the week. Clyde, Edwards, Hellaire. All right, so the Chiefs are going up against the Eagles, guys. The Eagles are not going to be able to stop the Kansas City Chiefs. The Cowboys are a really good offense, but they just absolutely bludgeoned the Philly defense in every way. They ran the ball effectively against them. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is no Zeke Elliott, but he should be able to run effectively against the Eagles. And he's always got the upside just because he's in such an elite offense. So he's a start for the week. Okay, Deandre Swift. I'm very excited about what Deandre Swift has done so far. He's definitely become the focal point of the Lions offense. They are feeding him the rock a ton. He's getting a lot of touches. And, you have the backup running back in there, Jamal Williams, taking some reps from him. But I wouldn't worry too much about it because he's just DeAndre Swift is heavily involved in the passing game, and he gets a healthy amount of carries. So that dual threat and being the focal point of the offense bodes very well for him, and he should get you some good fantasy production. Okay, Niners against the Seahawks. Elijah Mitchell will have a decent game against the Seahawks. They are definitely not the Legion of Boom defense that they once were, and I think the 49ers run game can actually be pretty successful against the Seahawks in this game, so I would start Elijah Mitchell. Number 20, Chris Carson. Hasn't had a monster fantasy performance yet, but he will this year. The receivers have been scoring all the touchdowns, but there's going to be games where Chris Carson gets in the end zone, multiple times and everything like that. So you can start him with confidence. So play him this week. 21 through 25, I got James Robinson in there. James Robinson finally had a good week last week. I think that is a good sign of things to come. Look, this Jacksonville Jaguars has a rookie quarterback playing in Trevor Lawrence, but we know that Trevor Lawrence has huge ceiling for potential and will probably get better throughout the season as he sees more and more NFL reps. This bodes very well for James Robinson, and you'll see him score some touchdowns and have some good fantasy performances this year, so start him this week. Tony Pollard. Okay, so look, Tony Pollard is running extremely efficiently. He had 11 carries for 60 yards in this last game that the Cowboys played. Look, Tony Pollard is a very explosive running back, and if he was a lead running back in an offense, I would have him way higher in my rankings because this dude is an absolute stud, and we're seeing it this year. But he's a backup running back for the moment, so I can't have him too high. But he is in my starts for the week. Chase Edmonds, Cardinals going up against the Rams. Guys, this is going to be an awesome game. Two absolutely stacked teams going at it, and I think that Chase Edmonds, being the dual purpose back that he is going to provide fantasy relevancy all year. He's got a pretty limited ceiling. He's not going to get you huge weeks, but he's a serviceable flex play, so you can start him in week 4. Jonathon Taylor has been a very big disappointment. I knew this guy was going way too high in the drafts. I was mind blown that people were taking him in the first round. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, but he does crack my top 25 for the week because he is going to get volume in both the running and the passing game. So you could expect a decent floor for Jonathon Taylor. He's in my starts for the week. Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is also just kind of a floor play to me. He probably is just not going to get you very many huge fantasy performances, but the volume is always going to be there. He is the lead workhorse back of the team. He's by far the best running back they have, so he is going to get you some fantasy output. So he is in my top 25 for the week. All right, guys, that is it for my rankings on the week for the running backs. Guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And do give me a thumbs up if you like the video, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you agree with or don't agree with, and hit that notification bell so you know when my videos come out. I do appreciate your time, guys. I hope these running back rankings help clear some things up for you guys so you know who to plug into your lineup on game day, get the optimal team on the field, and get the W so we can win some money this year. All right, guys, I am going to catch you later. Have a good day.